I think this might be one of the most important videos that I do in 2025. You see, every single time I've had a coaching call or I've been in my community, I've had a business owner come up to me and they always ask me one question. They say to me, Devon, a couple of years ago, my ads were doing fine. I haven't touched them. I haven't fiddled with them. But now I'm not getting any more leads, or I'm getting leads, but my leads are 3 to 4, sometimes 10 times more expensive as they were, than they were 5 years ago. And obviously, this is a pretty bad thing to be happening to someone. I mean, if you're running Google Ads, you would expect your performance to track the same, but they keep on asking me this question. Now, I figured let me do a whole episode on this because I want to unpack why this is happening, and you might have noticed the same thing. And the first thing I can assure you is that you're not going crazy. I know you haven't touched your ads in a long time, and it is happening to everyone, not only you and not only your business. So, in this episode, I'm going to dig into why this is happening and basically what you can do to get back your old performance. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to talk about a whole lot of factors that basically contribute to your very expensive cost per lead, right? Now, before I get into all of those things, I just want to invite you to my webinar. I'm having a very, very good webinar on the 1st of October, and I'm going to be talking about how to improve your conversion rates on your ads. So maybe if you haven't looked at your ads in a long time and you feel like getting back into them and figuring out what's going on, then I definitely want you to join me. It's a masterclass. It's going to be an hour long, and I'm going to dive deep into the simple things you can do that'll drastically boost your ads and give you those good results back that you used to have. All right, so link is down in the description. I'll tell you more about it towards the end of this video, but I just want to put out that invitation in case you're eager and in case you want to join me. All right, so now that I've gotten that out of the way, why is this happening, right? Why is this happening? Maybe you used to get 30, 40, maybe even 100 leads a month from your Google Ads. And now all of a sudden you're lucky if you can even get 5 leads. They're super expensive, and sometimes the lead quality has changed as well, right? Now there's 3 contributing factors to this. The first one is just more competition. A lot more people are on Google Ads than they used to be. Back in the days, like if you go 5 and 7 years ago, if you were a plumber or if you were an electrician, you were maybe one or two of maybe 100 different plumbing companies that are using Google to advertise. So if you look at your local area, you might show up in the top 4 search results all the time. But now there's like 500 or 600 plumbing companies in your local area, and they're all using Google Ads. There might be a lot more electricians that are using Google Ads. Why? Because as these advertising platforms get more popular, more and more people join. And what that means is you get a smaller slice of the search results. So maybe you're not showing up in the top 4 as often as you used to. Maybe you're showing up in the top 10. Maybe you're showing up in the top 20. Maybe you're not even on the front page anymore because more and more companies are using Google Ads. And yes, you can still win, but the bad news for you is it's not going to be as easy as it was before, right? Because a whole lot of those people are now copying your ads. They now look the same. So to the average person who's searching for a plumber, they're not going to understand the difference between your competitors and you. So that's the first factor, just having more competition on the platform. The second one is that Google Ads has changed. Unfortunately, it has changed for the worse, in my opinion. You are going to see a lot more irrelevant clicks. You are going to see more expensive clicks on your ads as well. In fact, if you go over the past 5 years, cost per clicks have increased by 13%, every single year. So what Google is doing to please its shareholders is it's kind of charging you more for the same thing. And then sometimes it's charging you more while giving you less clicks and less clients, right? And how they do this is they control the prices on the auction. So they get to decide how much you pay per click. And obviously, by charging you more, they get more money, which means graph goes up and it looks like the company is doing better than it did before. I always say this to entrepreneurs. Google Ads is a for-profit company, right? They are for profit. They are built to make profit. They are not built to make your business sustainable and your advertising good. If Google can get away with charging you $200 for a click, they will charge you $200 for a click. It doesn't matter if it's an irrelevant click. It doesn't matter if it's a low quality click. It doesn't matter if the click doesn't result in you getting a client. If they can get away with it, they will. I just had one of my clients get charged $500+ for a single click, right? He got a lead, but that's $500. A couple of years ago, I had one of my clients from Texas. They charged him $324 for 3 consecutive clicks on a single day, and he didn't get a lead from any of those clicks. So don't be so naive as to think that Google will not try and get away with charging you more while giving you less. The classic big corporation, in my opinion, they will gladly do that. So Google has also changed these rules. Now, the third factor that I want to talk about, and this ties into Google changing the rules, is Google has invented this thing called the auto apply recommendation, right? And what it basically is it's a set of best practices that Google is going to give you. And all you need to do is they'll send you an email. You see this all the time. Google will send you an email, something like your performance has fallen off. If you want us to implement these auto applied recommendations for you, these are personalized recommendations that'll help you get better performance on your ads. All you need to do is click this one button. And what happens is you go, hey, that's super cool. So I can just click this button and my ads are going to get better. Business owners doing that, click on it, not knowing that doing that is actually destroying their ad performance. Because what Google does is it takes away a couple of keywords. It made stuff that was tight and getting you good clients. It makes it broad so that it just shows your ads to almost everybody, even people completely not interested in your product or service. This is what it does in my experience. Also, with these auto-applied recommendations, you might have the Google app on your phone. And so you might get this alert that says, hey, we picked up that a couple of your keywords was irrelevant. If you want to have better results, we'll just take these keywords away from you. And so you're looking at the app on your phone, you see this little alert pop up, and you're busy running your business, right? You're busy handling all the other problems in your life. You do not have time to log in and look at your Google Ads and make sure that these settings are the right settings for you. So what do? You just click on, okay, apply the settings, and you move on with your day. Not knowing that you didn't have to go into your ads account, but by clicking that button, you basically gave Google Ads permission to stuff up your ads. And in my opinion, you should never ever click on auto applied recommendations, because this is the damage that it can do, where you're not in your ad account, but just by applying these recommendations, right? The recommendations that are supposed to be good for your account, you're actually degrading your ad performance, right? So it's super scary. So if I was to put this under a broad umbrella, I would say the first thing that you need to understand is that things are changing because there's more competition. Google is changing, and these auto-applied recommendations are now a factor, right? The second thing that you need to understand is that the keyword match types, the way in which Google matches your keywords, has also changed, right? Back in the days when you chose broad match or broad match modifier or phrase match or exact match, they just worked. They just worked. Google said they worked a certain way, and they just did work a certain way. Nowadays, if you find yourself constantly showing up for the wrong searches and constantly getting clicks from people who have no clue what you do, it's more likely that it's a problem with your keyword match types, right? So I'm going to talk about each one. I'm going to talk about how they've changed. And then in the end of this video, I'm going to show you what you can do to get some of that control back and actually fix this. So broad match used to be the setting that I actually preferred. And basically what broad match used to be able to do is when you selected broad match, it just went and it found people that were interested in your product and service, and it would just bring them to you. Like if you had a car wash, anybody searching for clean my car or clean my SUV, or I need a truck that needs cleaning, or valet, or clean my car carpets, you would just show up, right? So there was no conflict of interest. There was nothing crazy happening. Google would just find people who are searching for things that are related to what your business does and send you that traffic, right? And this was my experience with Broadmatch all the way from, when did I start using Google Ads? 2017 all the way up until 2023. I want to say 2023 November. That's when I started recognizing something strange happened. Now, the strange thing that started to happen was we were still using the same broad match stuff, but now the search terms were completely unrelated. And this is round about the time that Google got rid of the search terms report. Now, back in the days, you used to be able to see all of your search terms, every single thing that Google showed your ad for. But now, as time has gone on, especially since that timestamp, less and less transparency. Maybe you would only see 40% or 45% of the searches that you showed up for, right? And what this means is you really don't know who's out there seeing your ads, what they're searching for to trigger your ads, and most importantly, when they click on your ads, you can't identify the bad clicks that are leading to all of these extra expenses that you didn't plan on when advertising, right? And so broad match now is completely broken. So for example, you could be selling cat food and you can literally put there cat food as a keyword. You will show up for dog food, horse food, fish food, pet food. Now, if you have cat food as a keyword, you don't want to be showing up for dog food and you don't want to be showing up for horse food or pig food. You know what I'm saying? So already there's a problem here where Google's AI is being so lenient that it's interpreting everything as related to your ad, right? And so your performance falls off. If you go back to that timestamp, go back to 2023, look at your leads and start watching towards the end of the year, you'll start noticing they're getting more expensive. And that's broad match. So what happens is nobody uses broad match anymore, and we all switched over to phrase match. And then Google decided it's going to destroy phrase match as well. Now, I've got one customer. He is in the personal injury space. And what we've noticed is he's using phrase match, and we were on exact match. And as soon as we switch back to phrase match, he starts showing up for all of his competitor terms. Like every single law firm that's one of his competitors starts showing up on his search term report. And this is happening despite the fact that we are excluding all of his competitors. He just keeps showing up for more and more of his competitors. Now, there is a strategy where you want to focus on competitor searches, and competitor searches are good. But at the same time, we don't want to be paying $40, $50 per click just to show up on a search for a competitor. So in this case, it's wrong. And phrase match is broken because it keeps on doing this. It keeps on showing up for competitors instead of his particular keywords, right? So he wants to show up for personal injury law, car accident, that type of thing. He does not want to show up when somebody types up another law firm and pay $50 per click. And I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing for him to say and to want. And yet this is happening not only in his account, but also in other accounts. So what they do with broad match is they show you completely irrelevant searches. Phrase match, they're showing you for competitor names. So then you think, okay, then I'll just go to exact match then. Now, for those of you who don't understand exact match and how it works, basically when you switch to exact match, what it's supposed to happen is you are going to show for only the words that somebody typed in. If somebody types in big red Audi A4, you're supposed to only show up for big red Audi A4, right? That's how exact match works. It's called exact match because it exactly matches what the person has searched for. The only problem is now Google has nerfed that too, and just when you switch to exact match, nothing happens. You don't get any clicks, you don't get any impressions. It's almost like your ads just flatline. And so this creates a paradox because either one of these three keyword match types, it just leads to you not getting the results that you want. And what this does is it degrades your ad performance. It leaves you in the space where you're struggling and you're scratching your head figuring out, hey, I didn't change my ads. I didn't do anything crazy. I didn't change my website. I didn't change my product or service. And yet my ads just don't feel the same anymore, right? Let me know in the comment section below if any of what I'm describing is happening to your business right now. Let me know down below. All right. So we've got all of these factors, we've got all of these changes, and we've got all of these negative effects. So what can we do to negate that? What can we do to remedy the situation so that we start taking back more control from Google? So there's a couple of things that I wrote down, and I think these will be super helpful to you. So basically, all of these things have to do with you taking back control. So we want to take back control of our cost per click. We want to take back control of where the traffic is going. And last but not least, we want to take back control of how our ads are showing up. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to switch from whatever bidding strategy you're using right now and switch back to manual CPC. Manual CPC is my favorite Google ad setting. I've been using it for over 8 years and I've helped entrepreneurs get amazing results like a 10% conversion rate, sometimes a 29% conversion rate, all with manual CPC. Why? Because manual CPC allows me to control, number one, the keyword, and number two, how much I'm paying for my clicks. So if you find that your lead cost is out of control, instead of target CPA or maximize clicks, I want you just to go back to good old-fashioned manual CPC. What this is going to do is it's going to help you find the keywords that are wasteful and eating up your budget, and you're going to be able to bid more money on the ones that are actually bringing you leads, right? So it's a way of controlling your costs. Now, if you do it Google's way, the automated way, the auto-recommended way, what's going to happen is Google could charge you $30 for a click one day. The next day, they can decide to charge you $50 per click. The next day, they could say, hey, what the hell, $200 per click. And you're going to have to pay each and every single time. Manual CPC allows you to control that. Now, some amazing experts in the place like Darren Taylor, maybe Aaron Young, they'll tell you not to use manual CPC, and manual CPC is dead. And I've actually interviewed Darren Taylor. He's a very good friend of mine as well, and we had this discussion around it. And here's the thing. If you're spending $1,000 per day, maybe $2,000 per day on your ads, yeah, I don't think manual CPC is for you. But most business owners that are spending $100 a day on the ads, $200 per day on the ads, you've got a pretty small budget and you don't have enough data to feed this algorithm. And clearly the algorithm is not giving you what you want. So what I recommend is start at manual CPC, control as much as you can, and eventually once you start getting the conversions in, once you start seeing some momentum, you can always switch back to the automated bidding strategies, right? But right now, we're in lockdown mode. We want to make sure that we control our cost per click. If we can control our cost per click, we can control how much we pay for leads. If we can control how much we pay for leads, we can actually get away with getting affordable leads, right? That's the point of manual CPC. So the first thing we want to do is just control our cost per click. The second thing we want to do is control where the traffic is going. Now, 5 or 6 years ago, you were able to just run an ad, run it straight to your website, and you would just get those leads. No problem, the leads would just come up. That's not happening anymore. And the reason why it's not happening anymore is attention spans have decreased. So what happens is a lot of people are coming onto your website and they don't want to hunt around for information. They don't want to read because nobody reads anymore. So what happens is they just leave the website without converting. And so what we want to do is we want to send them to a controlled space, which is called a landing page. And once they get on that landing page, they'll be like, this is for me. I want to sign up for it because it's one service, or rather it's one ad that leads to one landing page talking about one service. It's very important that you start to apply the rule of once. And this is going to lead to you getting a lot more conversions. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical and saying, hey, Devon, how am I going to put them in front of a landing page with just one thing that I could sell to them versus a website with like 26 things that I could sell to them? And you're telling me I'm going to get a better result? Yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you. Because attention spans are so low these days, and because you have so much competition these days, people are not going through your full suite of services and products that you're offering. People are just looking for something, a form that they can fill in so you can contact them. That's literally it. So when you have a landing page, you're basically making it super easy for that person to contact you, and you can help them decide what's the right product or service for them. Back in the days, 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, used to be the only website. They had no option but to browse around. They had all the time in the world. Now you're only one of 400 different options. What that means is they will leave your site in a heartbeat and go to somebody's website that made their decision super easy for them. So stop using a website. We need to put better controls on where the traffic is going, and that's where a landing page comes in. Now, if you don't know how to approach this whole landing page, you can get in touch with me. On my website, we build amazing landing pages, and you can really discuss with myself and my team and make sure that it's the right fit for you and the right fit for your business. But you have to stop sending traffic to your website. I know it worked and it always worked, but the main point is it's not working right now, and you need the business right now. And the last thing that I want to discuss with you is your most important thing that you can do. This is the most transformational thing that you can do right now, and that is rewrite your ad copy. The ad copy that is on your ads has been there for years and years and years, and your competition has seen it. They've copied it, they've ChatGPT'd it, and now all of the companies, right? When you search for plumber, when you search for attorney, when you search for lawyer, all of the companies look exactly the same on the search results. So what happens? Because there's no differentiating factor, everybody's just going to assume the company at the top is the best company, click on them and work with them. So what that means is if you don't show up at number one, you've got no chance of getting that client. I don't want that to happen to you. So there's a couple of things you can do. Number one, rewrite your ad copy. Just by rewriting it, you'll see that you have a far better version of the ad that you had 7 years ago. The second thing I want you to do is start putting reviews into your ad copy. I made a whole YouTube video about it. Let me know and I'll link it down below. But basically what I do is I take my best reviews and I actually put them in my ad copy. Why? Because now I get some validation, I get some differentiation, and I get some social proof that I'm actually a company that they want to work with. And the last thing you want to do is you can also write your ad copy to tell certain people not to click on the ad. So if you've been getting a lot of resumes, you can literally write no vacancies available, no jobs available. If you've been getting a lot of people who are underqualified to work with you, let's say, for example, you're a rental agent and you know that they need to have at least $4,000 per month to spend on rent to work with you, you can write on the ad, we work with rents from $4,000 upwards. What that means is anybody who is less than that, they're not going to click on your ad. Therefore, they're not going to cost you money. Therefore, your cost per lead is going to get cheaper. And the best thing about this exercise of rewriting your ad is as your ad copy gets better, your click-through rate increases. When your click-through rate increases, your cost per click goes down because Google gives you a higher quality score. So it's like a slam dunk. It's a 3-in-1. Not only are you getting better leads, not only are less people who aren't qualified to work with you not clicking on the ads, but Google also sees that your ad is more relevant and therefore it pushes you up in the search results and gives you cheaper clicks as well. All right, so I hope this podcast episode has been helpful. I know that it's a lot to take on, but what I want to do is I want to make this transition easy for you. So I've got a masterclass coming up on the 1st of October. You're absolutely going to love it because I'm going to talk about the secrets of high converting ad campaigns. I've been doing this for the past 8 years. I've worked with people all around the world. I think we're up to 28 different countries. I know what works and I know what works in different markets as well. And this is for people who are not only on big budgets, but also people who are on small budgets. Like if you've been an established business owner and you've been running your business for years, but you know something is wrong with your ads and you know you need to do something about it, I want to invite you to come and see me on this workshop. You can ask me whatever you want. It's going to be live. It's going to be fun. And I promise you, I'm not going to have any technical jargon. I'm going to show you examples and I'm going to explain to you how this stuff works. So if you're excited about that, link is down in the description below. Last but not least, let me know if you've also been experiencing a degradation of performance. Let me know if your clicks are starting to get more expensive, if your leads are starting to get more expensive, and also let me know down below the things that you've tried to fix it. And if you have fixed it, please share with me, share with the community. We'd all love to hear what's working and what's not working with your ads. And last but not least, if you want to check out my video where I talk about how to rewrite your ads so that you can get better clients, I want you to check out this video over here. I will see you on the next one, my friend. Peace.